And it was simply this: what professional sport would you instantly be able to compete in if there was a mandatory blood alcohol requirement of 0.08% or above at all times? Wesley, we will start with you.
Yeah. I guess, okay. Is it everyone else participating 0.08 or above?
Everyone. There's an actual referee. He comes around before the start of the game. You have to start at 0.08%. You have to continuously stay at or above that level, preferably above. And the reason I ask this question is because in the modern era, the professional athlete is so finely tuned that I don't think that they would be capable of performing at their level with any alcohol in their system, especially, what would be considered legally drunk. However, I feel like folks like us have spent the majority of our lives at 0.08 or above, which would level the playing field because we would be able to operate almost unencumbered by the alcohol in our system, whereas they would be struggling to find that fine-tuned sweet spot that makes them that much better than the rest of us.
All right. I'm going to tell you right now, if you insert me, it's probably the sport that I probably have the best chance at, basketball. If you insert me into the Lakers against the Heat right now and everyone is at a 0.08 or above, I ain't making it. No shot.
No, and that's fine, and I'll agree with that. But if you were playing baseball and you were going up against the Miami Marlins,
no shot.
No shot still?
No shot.
Well, then pick your sport.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. And what sport do I think I have the best shot at? Oh boy. Oh God. And we're not going to go by some bullshit like, okay, the sport of cornhole, right? We're not going to do that.
Look, bottom line is, I saw some people putting cornhole on the Facebook page. Cornholers didn't get good at cornhole by being sober playing cornhole. You are wildly incorrect if you think that's the answer that you should be going for.
Gotcha. Here's the okay. This is going to sound crazy. All right. I think that just because I have a certain amount of anxiety about it sober, and if I were drunk, I wouldn't have it. And I think the people that I were competing against, they don't do the sport drunk. It's the ski jump. I'm going ski jump.
The only reason I'll argue with you on that is I'm not saying that you wouldn't have the balls to strap some planks on your legs and go 75 miles per hour down a slickened slope. However, once you have made contact with nothing but air, I just don't know how well you would fare sober or drunk, knowing any technique at all whatsoever, which you don't know any technique at all whatsoever.
Right. I need some technique. God damn.
Yeah, you would need some technique besides pure drunken confidence.
Okay. All right.
That's fair. So we're gonna let you simmer on this for a second, and we'll go to Alan. Alan, what do you think? 0.08 or above, everyone's at that level. What sport do you think you would be most competitive at?
Did we say it's professional? So is this at the professional level or just a sport in general?
I think everything's considered professional in the internet era. I'd prefer it to not be 100% bullshit, but I'm willing to accept some bullshit answers.
No, I mean, because I was gonna say, like, I played 10 years of slow pitch softball, like in tournaments and shit, and I was drunk pretty much the entire time, and we did pretty good. We were bad.
Yeah,
we were bad for like a couple of years, but then we got pretty good.
I'm going to revert back to the cornhole argument I made, where anybody who's gotten good at slow pitch softball hasn't gotten good while sober.
That's fair. Actually, we got better as the more sober we got, and then we could start getting drunk again. But there was like a 2-year period where everybody was hammered every Sunday morning, and we were terrible. So we had to like lose it and then get it back. But I got you. I would have to say, yeah, other than that, like, I'd have to go something fucking hokey. Like, that I think, because I don't think I would, like Wes said, I wouldn't excel at, like, I wouldn't be good at fast pitch baseball, kind of hammered. That's not going to work. I'm bad at basketball, just regular. So, fucking a little bit drunk, nope, gonna be worse. Football, that doesn't seem like the thing that I want to play drunk. So we're starting to crane into like bowling. It's a professional sport. Darts, big time in the UK. I'm sure those fuckers are hammered.
Yeah.
I think I'll go darts. I think darts would be where it's at. That seems like one of those in the vein of like kind of cornhole, but it is a professional sport, not like cornholes. Come on, that's not.
I'll accept darts, but I remember
Bowling. I think would be my second.
I always felt like I got most dialed in, probably the closer to legally drunk. It's more I approached that level, the better I got at darts.
Yeah.
Bowling, kind of similar. It's one of those deals where you zone in. And I do feel like professional dart throwers and professional bowlers, like they're the ones who didn't get drunk at the bowling alley or at the bar. Yeah. And so they excelled in the sport because they never reached that level. Mm-hmm. And so maybe by you being at that level and forcing them to be at that level, that you would they would decline where you would rise. And it would be the most mediocre dart competition ever.
Oh, yeah.
You are, in fact, in competition.
Yep. I agree.
I actually thought of this as soon as the question came to mind. Cleavon on the old Facebook page said NASCAR for sure. Now, I know everybody's thinking that's a bullshit answer. I happen to agree with old Cleavon there because I don't think any NASCAR driver, anybody who's worth their weight in NASCAR gold, has ever actually driven a car drunk. Because by the time you get to that level, you're probably so sheltered. I'm not saying you've never gotten drunk. I'm just saying you've probably never operated a motor vehicle while drunk. And I don't want to admit to how many times I may or may not have been in that zone. But here we are, talking freely on a podcast. I still live. I'm still here. And I think with that said alone, might propel me to have the balls to go 150 miles an hour. And I feel like maybe the proven ability to not earn-hearted into a wall. So I'm going with NASCAR.
Damn,
You're agreeing with Cleveland Tenor?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Actually, so you wanted to come back to me because I thought the ski jump was too much of a ballsy act.
I just think you might die.
Okay.
I don't know how competitive death is.
I'm going winter biathlon, cross country skiing and shooting.
Whew. Competing with those Nordics though.
Yeah. Do you think those Nordics are fucking sober?
No, I don't. I think that's the problem. I do think you might be. I do think you would. But here's the thing, though: to compete, and I'm going lowest level. Like you just have to make it into the competition. The Americans that do it are high-end twat dorks, and I don't think they've ever had a sip of alcohol in their lives because they're trying to elevate their bodies and their mind to be able to compete with the Nordics. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think that you would make it out of the American time trials and then compete, but not win, but you would make it and you would be in competition, which does satisfy the question. So I agree with you that you would be a hell of a biathlete, a drunken biathlete, Wesley.
Hell yeah.
It's funny. When you were talking originally, I did think of shooting in the Olympics, but then I was like, the cross country skiing portion sounds pretty fucking bad, especially with alcohol in your system. But hey, do you, bud?
Well, plus Wes, and knowing Wes would hurl so hard while he's out there, and he would just and here this would be your competitive edge is that you would just yak right into those like nice laid out smooth tracks that they like to put down. Like the cross country skiers, they wait for the first person to lay a track, and then you just turn and you just heave some nice, disgusting like margarita bile right into the center of the track.
It would be like my own personal banana peel in Mario
Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart.